This is North Texas Weather Center with your latest 2.5 minute forecast, and temperatures out there this morning, we're only in the upper 40s, but by this afternoon it will not be anywhere close to this. You might need a fleece jacket as you walk out the door, but after that, by lunchtime, many of us will be into the low to mid 70s, and beyond that, by 4 o'clock, many of us, because of the southerly wind, will get into the mid to upper 80s. In a few areas, don't be shocked, you might reach 90 degrees today. It will be very warm out there, so keep that in mind. Make sure that you are wearing sunscreen outside if you do go outside, because it will be obviously very warm. The sun will be out most of the day, and as well, if you have any respiratory issues, you are recommended to stay indoors because of the air quality alert. All right, we do have a chance for severe weather heading into, it looks like Tuesday night into maybe Wednesday morning. This is a system that we're watching very closely. A tornado or severe weather outbreak could be possible, so we're watching this extremely closely for you. It's going to be late, so it will likely be overnight into like Wednesday morning, so right around 1 to 4 a.m. it looks like as of right now for DFW. That could change, but that's what we're looking at. A slight risk of severe weather does exist for anywhere along and west of I-35W, and I would expect the worst of this weather to stay out near Wichita Falls in central Texas. We could very well see some damaging winds though in the Metroplex, and I can't rule out a tornado, but I would expect mainly a damaging wind threat for us. Taking a look at the future radar, we'll stay dry Tuesday and even this weekend as well, just so you're aware. More on that in the 7-day forecast. Eventually, Tuesday afternoon, an isolated shower or an isolated weak thunderstorm could be possible. Heading into late Tuesday night, you can start to see these showers and storms developing back out to our west. This is what we're watching pretty closely for that tornado threat. I think that's where the worst of the tornado threat will exist. Eventually, by about 1 in the morning, a bit more of a line of storms develop, so possible for damaging winds and maybe even a little bit of hail. Up to quarter size probably would be all we would see. Eventually, by Wednesday at 4 in the morning, these storms move through the Metroplex, and eventually by 7, most of this is out to our east, and strong northwesterly winds will be behind this, so that could obviously bring will bring much cooler conditions to our region. You can see maybe an isolated shower during the daytime Wednesday, but other than that, we should dry out. Maybe another chance for some storms going into Friday or Saturday. That could also prompt maybe a little bit of severe weather, but way too early to predict at least that event coming up in about 7 to 8 days. Take a look at the dew points. You can see the dew points will be on the rise, and by Wednesday we're going to be in the 50s and 60s, so it will be pretty humid. Mid 60s for dew points are expected when that severe weather rolls through our region. All right, heading into Monday, I would expect even the temperatures maybe be a little bit warmer than this, but they will be very warm. You can see 80s and 90s back out to our west. Here in the Metroplex, upper 70s and lower 80s. I think we'll be a bit warmer than that. Looking at tomorrow, we'll be looking at some mid to upper 50s for lows, so we're actually going to be waking up a bit mild. Eventually by the afternoon, don't be shocked. Some of us, or even almost most of us, could get into the low 90s. In some areas back out to the west, like Wichita Falls, 94 degrees is your forecasted high for tomorrow afternoon. So, obviously, it's going to be warm this weekend. Make sure you get outdoors and enjoy it. Here's your latest North Texas Weather Center 7-day forecast, and I only predict a high of 83 right now for Sunday. I would expect, though, many of us to get into the upper 80s, maybe some low 90s. By Monday and Tuesday, temperatures will be only in the mid-80s because of the cloud cover. We'll eventually see some storms late Tuesday into Wednesday, and eventually we'll drop into the 60s for highs on Thursday. Lows could even drop back in the upper 30s for some locations overnight Thursday and a Friday morning, so keep that in mind. This forecast is brought to you by Platinum Contracting, Birdies Pro Turf, and THD Vehicle Doorstep.